Welcome.
Hey, everybody. Hey. As you can see,
Hey, friends.
we are living well together.
Big life in a small town.
Yeah.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Terry, and we are solo. Well, we're a duo. Frequently, we will have guests, and we'll have other people
is so
sharing
fun.
our space. But sometimes, and we were just talking about this, sometimes you don't want company. Sometimes company is uninvited, and
but
we just
why
want
do
to...
you think that is?
Well,
Why
because
do-
sometimes, I mean, I think everybody has their social self.
Yeah.
And everybody has their, I want to not be social self.
And for you, you are your social self 7 o'clock till 6 o'clock, 4 days a week, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in care mode and you are taking care of people, it's not just the physical part, but it's that emotional, spiritual connection too. And so you're on all the time.
It is, I think of our office kind of like a Broadway play. The people who come here, our audience, so to speak, the people we take care of, they don't come here to hear my trash. They come here to get taken care of. So, whether I'm feeling a little under the weather or whether my team is, dealing with whatever issues, we leave our issues at the back door because we need to be on and we need to be vibrating at a higher frequency than the highest vibrational frequency person that we take care of.
Absolutely. Well, and one of the things that I think is so cool is at the back door is a great big green trash can. And
The big
so
dumpster.
they can actually physically think about putting all of their trash in that trash can. And I think it's a good thing once you leave there, when you're leaving the office and you get to your home before you come in, that then any other trash is deposited too. I think it's such a good thing to just really think about and be focused on. Don't bring the garbage from the day home either.
True.
Yeah.
Well, when you put it in the trash can on the way in, you get to decide whether you pick it up on the way out.
It's
you
true.
can leave it right in the can.
Yeah.
And then the other thing we got to be really careful of is taking care of you guys because you bring your own things in. And so it's really important that we don't absorb it and take it home with us. We take
can
care of
help
a lot
them
of...
metabolize it while they're here. You guys do a very good job of that, I think.
Well, it's all about processing and just helping people get clear. When the nerve system's clear, the person that's dealing with whatever they're dealing with has the opportunity to get better resolution of whatever it is the issue might be. So yeah, our focus is always on taking care of, not being taken care of.
Right.
And but that means at the end of the day, I am ready to not do that.
Right.
It's like I've seen a handful of people all day long who I needed to be there and be present.
Absolutely.
And then I got to come home and I got to be present, but I also got to
For me.
yeah. But and it's only like a 7-minute drive from the office, so I don't have a lot of decompression downtime to switch gears.
Are there ever days where you take a longer way home?
There have been historically, not recently, but yeah, it's
Just for that drive time?
Yeah. Or if I've got a good podcast on or a song that I like.
You guys can take the long way home when you're listening to our podcast.
It's a long way home because I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
There used to be an NPR thing I would listen to. I can't think of the name of the program, but it was with Ira Glass.
I don't know that one.
And you would get in your driveway and it's like, gosh, I'm not done listening yet. So I would either sit in the driveway or I would drive around the block or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get wrapped up into people's stories and people's stuff.
And thankfully, you guys take the time and any opportunity that you can to pray for your patients too. So you're not taking it on yourself. You're lifting it up to God and letting Him take care of it.
Well, we know who we work for.
That's right.
Right. We're just
and who made our bodies and the conduit. I love that. Flows through.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what are we going to talk about on this particular episode now that we don't have company?
One of the things that I'm curious about are what are some of the most asked wellness questions that you get or health
The FAQs?
Yeah, like your FAQs.
I am always kind of amazed at how little people actually know and understand their body. So I talk to everybody as though they're in kindergarten, and I assume they know zero. And I very frequently will apologize, especially with a new person.
Yeah.
And I'll say, you know what? I just want to tell you right now, I'll apologize for talking to you like a kindergartner. You may know more. And we take care of a lot of other healthcare providers. We've got a lot of other health practitioners.
Yeah.
So, but I always start as though they're in kindergarten, and then we work our way into what they know. But I'm amazed at the lack of understanding that people have for how intelligently designed their body is.
Mm-hmm.
Like your heart
Yeah.
always knows when to beat and your food always knows how to digest and your eyes always know when to blink.
It's because we take it for granted,
Well, there's
though.
so many things that are happening in millisecond time,
Yeah.
thousands and thousands or maybe millions of chemical
Mm-hmm.
reactions and interactions on a cellular level
Mm-hmm.
are taking place, and they're all being orchestrated beautifully unless they're not.
Yeah.
And it's when they're not that people usually, that's what usually gets people's attention, because symptoms will form or you'll feel off that day or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so the goal really is to just make sure that all cylinders are firing
Mm-hmm.
and that all systems are go, so that you can express your full health potential and you can be the person you've been
Right.
created to be.
Yeah. Which allows you to serve your purpose passionately.
Right. But to get back to your original question, which was
Wellness questions. What's
what's
your most asked? Like,
frequently
yeah.
asked.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that. We answer a lot of questions
Mm-hmm.
every day, but there's usually just a handful of things
Mm-hmm.
that indicate confusion in the body,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or confusion in the recipient of the symptoms, right? And it's amazing too how sometimes where you feel discomfort and
Yeah.
where it
This is
originates
kind of crazy. Yeah.
don't always match.
Right.
People will frequently feel foot or ankle or leg or hip pain, and it's coming from way further up
Mm-hmm.
the line
Mm-hmm.
than where the original, where the symptom is that that person's been tolerating. So where it comes from and where it's experienced are very
Mm-hmm.
frequently not the same
Yeah.
place, which is why we focus on the upper cervical spine. All the power that runs your life has to leave your skull, has to come from your brain down. And so when there's compromise or injury to the structures in the nerves in the neck, it will produce a variety of changes further
Mm-hmm.
down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be digestive changes, it might be menstrual changes, it might be muscular changes,
Mm-hmm.
but you've got to kind of troubleshoot the system
Right.
and say, here's where the fire's burning, not here's where the smoke alarm's going
Right.
off.
So, as far as conditions go, like, would you say that people come in mostly for like headaches, low back pain? Do they? I know that physically, like things like headaches and back pain, they know. I need to go to a chiropractor.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking that this is where we were going to go today, but I do. I mean, I have people that are like, oh, chiropractic can help that, and so they understand the connection between their headaches.
Right.
Um,
Chiropractic is so simple, and it's been kind of painted into a certain corner. And so we'll spend a few minutes talking about chiropractic, but everybody has a certain mindset or a certain image in their mind about what is chiropractic.
mhm.
And so very frequently, if people say, "Hey, what do you do?" I almost never say that I'm a chiropractor.
Because they go glaze.
Well, no, there's
A
one of
lot
two.
of them, yeah.
There's one of two things. Either chiropractic has been a huge benefit to someone or somebody in their
Right?
life,
Yes.
or
Oh,
them,
yeah. I go to a chiropractor.
saved my
Yeah.
life. Or my Aunt Effie's eyeball fell out when she went to a chiropractor, so chiropractic is bad. And so it's an automatic
Mm-hmm.
yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
If you just say you're a
Mm-hmm.
chiropractor, you have a chiropractic office. So
Yeah.
I almost never say that.
Right.
Unless I don't want to talk. If I don't want to talk, then it's like, yeah, I'm a chiropractor. Oh, okay.
The
And
on-off switch.
right. But I will frequently say, you know what? I own a small business that helps people regain their health without drugs and surgery.
And that
And
creates some
that
interest, doesn't it?
it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, we focus on the spine and the nerve system
Mhm.
because that's where the cells are governed and all life
He's pretty
is
smart,
controlled.
isn't he? That's
Well,
brilliant.
I don't know if that's smart or not.
Yeah.
It just depends really on how much I want to talk. If I
Yeah.
don't want to talk, I'll just say I'm a chiropractor.
Well, and it might depend on what preceded that. I mean, so many things. I've seen you in action.
You know,
So.
we've been doing it a while.
You've been doing it a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And changed so many lives. I was thinking about that. I feel like, have you seen 1 million people through your practice? Maybe not 1 million people, but have you had like 1 million?
in 34 years, if you averaged probably,
Yeah. Should I do some quick math? Let's do some quick math.
I'll say average 15,000 times 34. I don't know what that number is.
Let's see. Times 12 equals times 34. 612,000.
I'll say that probably I've given 612,000 adjustments.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
doesn't include working on the weekends, working on family, working on dogs, working on whatever. But if you looked at the bigger picture, it's
Mhm.
probably
Mhm.
somewhere close
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah. And I am so grateful that I am married to a chiropractor because I'm one of those people that, those off hour appointments when I'm feeling grouchy or not feeling 100%. And he's like, come on, let's go check in. I'm usually like, no, I'm fine. And he's like, nope, you really need to be checked.
I
And I'm
will
like,
admit there's a
okay.
selfish motivation there because when you're
I'm a
not
lot
good,
nicer
yeah, yeah,
when I'm in adjustment.
amen. And we all are. I mean, that's kind of a crazy thing,
Yeah.
but everybody has a certain assumption about what is chiropractic, and it's usually
Yeah.
incorrect.
Right.
And chiropractic is really just the science and the art and the philosophical perspective on how the universe is wired. It
Yeah.
has really nothing to do. The only reason we pay attention to the spine or the head, neck, and back is because that's where the power supply is that runs every cell in the body. If the nerve system was in your foot, I would be the foot guy.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and
But
so
it's one of the things that helps us to vibe high.
oh,
Don't you
100%.
think?
Well, you can't. Yeah, like I
When
said,
you're
if your
when
nerve
you're
system's not happy,
Yeah.
you're not
If
your
you're
best self.
hurting anywhere, if you're feeling uncomfortable in your body, there's so many reasons why our vibration gets lower. And that's especially, I know that for sometimes when I'm just not feeling 100% that way, that's when I really, as far as company goes,
Yeah.
um, it really kind of turns that switch off for
It just
me.
makes us somebody other than our best self.
Right.
I mean, if you
Exactly.
sat out in the front space, the reception space, if you just sat out there all day and listened to
Mm-hmm.
people chit chat about their situation, you would think
Mm-hmm.
we cured everything from
Mm-hmm.
hemorrhoids to
Mm-hmm.
infertility.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't.
Yeah.
The body heals itself,
Yeah.
it regulates itself.
Yeah.
It just does it better when the nerve system's running by design.
Right. So do you feel like we're in kind of trying times right now? Do you feel like people are having a more difficult time staying positive and, their best?
I think people dramatically underestimate the effect of emotional and mental stress
Mm-hmm.
on their overall
Mm-hmm.
physical health.
So,
100%.
because I feel like for us, not to make this all about us, but we are just kind of like a small microcosm of everybody else's family lives.
Sure.
And I just feel like in the past year, but even shorter time, maybe the past 3 months, that it's really been a tough time for us. And I won't get too emotional about it, but I could.
Yeah.
And and we know that because of the purpose and passion that God's put in us, that we need to rise above these things. We can accept that they're happening to us, but I'm wondering what are some of the things that you do that keep you at your best that you can be from a positivity standpoint. And
Well, sometimes I'm really good at it, and sometimes I'm not. Part of the blessing is coming to the office
mm-hmm,
because I know that I need to be outside of myself.
yeah,
I need to be focused on other people and
mm-hmm,
not me.
mm-hmm,
So most of the time, emotional things, and we've had some loss. We've had several
right,
losses in
big ones,
our world
yeah,
with death. We've had just family things that occur like everybody else.
right,
That's kind of funny. People think we have some kind of semi-charmed kind of life, and our life is just like everybody else's.
yeah,
We just got to figure out ways to work around
right,
it.
right,
You can stay in the ditch or you can get out of the ditch. We just
mm-hmm,
work hard to get out of the ditch
yeah.
when we're in it. And
Nature's one of the ways for you. You like to
I
be,
love being in the
mm-hmm,
woods.
yeah,
I love whether it's on my bike in the woods or whether it's just on my boots in the woods.
mm-hmm,
I like letting God talk to me in the
yeah.
woods.
Yeah, that's a big one. A lot of people do tell me that they just, even if they just go outside and stand in the grass,
Yeah.
look at the sky, watch the clouds for 5 minutes, it has this way of resetting their mindset in a
It makes you
really
feel
glorious way.
small.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
Yeah,
you
it
feel
keeps
so
things in
small when you
perspective.
look at the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
and then it takes problems and helps them feel even smaller.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that, and we talked about this a while back, just
Mm-hmm.
journaling.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you take a problem
That's
that
what
is
I was going to
soaking
say.
up so much
Yeah.
of your heart and your mind, and you write it down in a sentence that's
Yeah.
4 words, 5, 7 words.
Mm-hmm.
When you see it this big on paper, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, why am I letting this govern
Mm-hmm.
so much of my
Yeah.
time and attention?
That's
But
been such a good process for both of us,
yeah,
though. The Artist Way, I think we might have touched on that at one point, but it's a program by Julia Cameron, and it's been out for over 30 years. She just had like an anniversary of her book set.
yeah.
And it's something where you're writing in this journal every morning. Terry amazingly gets up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I admire him for a lot of things. That's one of them. And you write for about an hour, and it's green light writing. So you're just basically putting your pen to the
Thoughts on
paper.
paper.
And it's our way of uploading these thoughts to God. And even as you're writing, you can feel him answering a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the pain points, or the questions that we
Well,
have.
it also reminds you of how foolish it can be
Yeah.
and how self-centered most of our problems can be. Like, this is only a problem because I'm seeing it as a problem.
Yeah.
That person or that situation may not be problematic to other people in any way.
Yeah.
So when you see it on paper, it's really easy to say, well, get out of your own
Yeah.
crap and get to work.
Right.
Get to work.
Get to work.
But nature is a big one for me. Journaling is a big one for me. And number 3 is exercise. If
Yeah.
I don't exercise, I don't do as well mentally or
Yeah.
emotionally or physically.
Right.
Those are the big 3
Yeah.
for me. And to skip any of them is to shortchange myself for that time period. What do you do? I know you journal
The journaling is really, and I have journaled for
a long time.
a long time, since I was a little girl. Really, I can remember writing in a diary when, one of those little tiny pink ones that have the locks on them. And from the time I was tiny, and actually my mom had saved them. And so I was able to read through those. I think I might even have those ones. My teenage year ones all got burned in
We had a bonfire.
we had a little bonfire and we burned all my old journals that I didn't want anybody to ever find. But the little girl ones were so sweet and cute. It's like, oh, I got to play with my dog Ginger today, or things like that. So journaling's a big one for me. The Artist Way program has been amazing because those times where that I'm uploading to God, and then you spend very specific time having what they call an artist state, and that's like a 2-hour do something fun that you don't usually do for yourself. That's
And
the
usually by
time
yourself.
and by yourself. It's supposed to be by yourself. And then God can download to you some of his thoughts on that. One of the things, though, that I prioritize is the body code sessions. That is a time that I can work with one of our practitioners, and we have 3 amazing ones, Caitlin, Allie, and Grace, and they will help to identify those emotions and traumas, whether they're physical, emotional, or spiritual traumas, and release them. And it is so freeing. And it's not like I have to talk through like past issues. It's just like it's God's way of helping us to narrow down really quickly what's at the root of whatever the issue is, and just getting rid of it, just releasing
it's not talk
it.
therapy. It's not that at all.
It is not talk therapy
It is very
at all,
much,
which I appreciate.
At least the ones that we're connected to are trained well to just help target, and it's a system. There's a
system.
mode that you can troubleshoot.
It's
emotional
a
things.
computer app,
Right.
and so it's very quick to go through it, and so that's a top priority for me. Like when I know that I'm really struggling, it's like, well, let's get rid of all the other extra stuff.
And another
that
big
doesn't
one for
belong
you
there.
is your supplementation. You use a
Oh my
lot
gosh,
of
I use
nutritional
so much.
support,
Yeah.
and to not do that for you would be a huge mistake.
Yes. So, and also juicing, like celery juice, and
Right.
the smoothies with the dragon fruit, and they
Right.
just help me to just feel better physically.
See, I'm happy to eat like cheeseburgers and French fries and swallow it down with a cold beer. And she is always like, no, I'm juicing and I'm having this. La, la, la.
Well, it does, but it helps my brain.
Yeah, well,
It really does.
for sure.
Yeah.
I know that it does.
And part of that, I think, is the control over, because I know that the things that I eat are going to affect the way that I look. And so,
Same here. This is the face made by beer and cheeseburgers.
and I just turned 60, and I'm like really, really conscious about this right now. And so I know that everything that I eat, what do they say? Like, you
are what you eat.
You are what you eat.
Digest and metabolize. You got to digest it and metabolize
Right.
it. But
And I use a lot of injectable therapies too, because I know that gut function for so many people, including me, although I've never had any gut issues that were diagnosed or anything like that. So I just bypass that completely, and I just get out my little syringes and find a little spot on my belly, and boop, there we go. It's great.
Like a little peptide.
Peptide.
Peppa.
But B12, thymosin, BPC 157, and the
She does all the
tirzepatide.
homework, all the research stuff. I just take what she says.
He really does.
Shoot
It's
this,
so
take
nice.
these, squeeze that pouch, and go to bed.
Yeah, we've been playing around with another supplement company too.
Another
and
line. But she does all the homework. You do an extensive amount of homework. All I got to do is shut up and do what you say, which makes it really easy for me.
But there's-
And then I'm still going to swill it down with cheeseburgers and beer.
Not all the time. He doesn't do it all the time. You're very conscientious about what you eat too.
Most of the time. Yeah.
Because
it's
you
the
know
80-20.
Right. It's definitely 80-20 for you, but you know from a physiological perspective that the things that you eat that are good for you make you have inflammation and more pain in your body, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, really?
You don't say.
So here's
Shut
what
it.
happens. Like he won't say anything about how he's feeling because he knows what I'll say back. It's like, oh man, my hip's really bothering me right
I
now.
never say that.
You never say that. I know, that's what I mean. You would
You
never
just
say
watch
that
me limp around.
because
Hey,
know,
Papaw.
no, you actually are a really good faker. I'm amazed at all that. So I'm not sure. I didn't actually set the timer. Graham
I
always
have
takes
no
care of the
idea.
timer for
Yeah,
me.
Graham flips us around a little timer that says you are eating up too much clock.
Too much clock. But I really did want to talk about that because I feel like having some go-tos for people that are in a season themselves where it's
Everybody
not,
is in a season. I'm 34 years in taking care of people, and I have never, other than the last 3 to 4 now years, seen the predicament that people's health are in. I have never seen more vertigo. I have never seen more autoimmune disease. I have never seen more cardiovascular stress. I have never seen more chronic illness than in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And I know there's a variety of possibilities as far as reasons go.
need
But
to
at the end of the
discuss those.
day, it is amazing to me how human health is on such a rapid decline. You know, when we were all locked in our homes and couldn't go anywhere, or you couldn't consume, what you would otherwise maybe consume, it got really easy to eat convenience food, or drink too much, or stay up too late, or whatever. So there are so many emotional and physical and chemical assaults on our system, and we are now reaping what's been sown.
It's so true.
It is crazy. Hospitals are still full. They were talking about with the pandemic that people had to get, stay out. They are packed. I had somebody this week in the office who had a hip replacement and they didn't have a room. She slept in the hall at the hospital
my
the first
goodness.
night.
Yeah.
The hospitals are so full. People are like super sick. So there's never been a better time to take good care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Supplements matter. Juicing matters. Get in the woods. Write your journal. Do your exercise. Take yourself. All of it. Because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save
If
us.
you don't advocate for yourself, it's just going to fall apart.
Yeah.
And so doing research and homework and turning to people that you know that you can trust. I hope that you know that you can trust Terry and I. Like if you have questions, ask us.
Email, Facebook, whatever. If we can help you, we're going to help you. We never say no to
We
anybody.
will definitely put you on the right path because we want everybody to be able to fulfill the purpose that's been planted in their souls too.
And if we don't have an answer, we'll find an answer. We'll point you in another direction. This is not a one-stop shop or a one-size-fits-all.
No.
But health management is not as hard as we've been led to believe.
It's true. So this is really off the cuff. So if we need to pause it and then have Graham do some editing.
Okay.
But like five top tips, like true tips, like not just broad, but like 5 things that you think would be the most beneficial for people to focus on to really like regain.
Number 1, turn off all media for 1 week.
Yes.
All media, no TV, no computer, no newspaper, no magazines, no media, 1 week. I dare you. It'll change your life.
We do not watch TV.
And we watch TV sometimes.
We watch TV. We do not watch the news.
Oh, no. For
news
many
is
years.
For many years,
But
decades.
media is toxic on just about every level. So number 1 is turn off your media.
I think so too.
Number 2 is take something out of your diet that you know isn't beneficial. One thing, I don't care what it is. If you know it's not helping you, take something out. And then and number 3 is put something in. We talked about this in episode or 2 ago.
Right.
Substitute. Like
So it
pull
could
out
be
the
a
Snickers
supplement.
and add in the grapefruit, whatever it is. If you don't take number 4, if you don't take a whole food multiple vitamin, take it. Get a good and go top shelf. Vitamin supplements are just like anything else. You can get the bottom of the shelf, the middle of the shelf, or the
Do
top
not
of the
get
shelf.
your supplements from Costco, please.
Or Kroger's or whatever.
yeah.
But at the
Talk to somebody that can help.
I hate to keep saying at the end of the day.
Don't say it at
So
the
I
end of the
won't say
day.
it.
But can I do the last one?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I can see your time's up.
No, that was on my computer. It wasn't on my phone. Sleep.
Go to bed.
The importance of sleep. So those are the 5 things.
Okay.
5 things. Say them again.
Number 1 is turn off your media.
Yep.
Number 2 is take something out of your diet that you know isn't helping. Number 3 is put something into your diet that you know will help.
Right.
Number 4, add a multiple vitamin. Just a whole food, not a trash, not a Centrum, a
Okay.
good whole food
So it'll be six because I definitely think some kind of movement is very
and that's
vital.
fine, but sleep is probably as or more important.
Yeah. And movement doesn't mean that you have to go to the gym.
No.
Movement means just doing anything fun that you like. One of the
Start
things
with
that
one
I do,
jumping jack.
one jumping jack. Terry sees me sitting in a chair at home quite often.
She has 3 stations in her house, and all of them are seated.
And he thinks that that's really literally all I do all day long. But every hour, I go up and down the stairs 5 times.
Got it.
And jog up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
And it helps me to move. But I like to swim too. So once the pool's open, I like that. I wish I was a better dancer because I would really love to just like dance
You're
in my
not a
living
bad
room.
dancer.
I have absolutely no rhythm, you guys.
You got good rhythm. The girl's got rhythm. Never mind.
We'll have a little dancing
That's
contest.
an AC/DC song.
Yeah, so those 6 things, and that will give you a good foundation for managing these trying times that we're in, because we're all in them. Know that we're all in them together, which should sort of help.
You're never alone. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, because feeling isolated is just another part of the challenge.
Another way to
nope,
get
we're all in
depressed
it
and
together.
anxious.
Yeah.
Right on.
But we appreciate you guys listening so much. We're going to do a really fun contest. We would love to get our subscribers on YouTube up to 500. And when we do, we have a giveaway basket that Jenny has created for us. And we're going to do a little promo on it for probably our next little tape here. And you guys can take a look at it and then just share this with your friends and family. We'll see who subscribes, and then we can do a fun little drawing. I don't think your wheel of what did you call that? The Price is
Wheel of
Right.
Fortune.
The Wheel of Fortune. I don't think the Wheel of Fortune is going to be big enough for all the names.
Oh, it won't even be close.
Yeah, so we'll do something electronically so we can get all the names in there. But it's going to be really, really fun, and we're looking forward to it. And we're also making sure that we get everybody on our email list, so we will drop that information in this episode as well. And you can sign up for the email list because we're going to do special weekly drawings from that list as well.
Weekly drawings as well as prizes. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, prizes
we talked
for a
about
weekly
some
drawing.
swag and some prizes.
Yeah, which we're super excited. This has really been so much fun, and we want to make it even funner.
Well, Jenny went around and put the basket together from all local businesses.
Yes,
so
it's so fun.
some of the
She's
people
so
that
good.
you'll see on our interviews and some of the other
Yeah.
businesses in our community have donated prize stuff. So we're going to start doling it out.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need it all.
No, well, and it's funner to share.
Right on. Where are we going to put it? But if you like what you're seeing, if you like what you're doing, if you like what's happening with us,
We hope you do.
and you got a couple of options, you can turn it off. If you don't like it, shut it off.
Please don't turn
But
it off.
I'm going to say, smash that subscribe button. Subscribe. Subscribers are how we get on YouTube, and that's
Yep.
how we take Fairborn and our Miami Valley
Yeah.
further up the algorithm of success.
Exactly. Yep.
And draw people into our world. And so share with your friends. And
But we're
and
also on Spotify, iHeartRadio.
wherever you find your podcasting,
Apple.
we're everywhere.
Exactly. We are everywhere. So if you like to listen, that's fine. If you like to watch, you can be on YouTube or Spotify for the video
Right.
podcasts, and everything else is audio. But it's been so fun to figure it all out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Wait a minute. Cut.
I love you, babe.
Let's go eat.